Hey, Michael here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm diving into a crucial question. What's the best camera for brand new photographers learning boudoir photography, or any photography for that matter? You might be surprised by the answer. Do you want to save some money? Stick around as I debunk some myths and set you straight on picking the best camera. When you first think of stepping into the world of boudoir photography, it's like a thrilling adventure. You imagine all the stunning images you'll create, the lives you'll empower, and the artistry you'll express. But before we get started, I want to tell you my channel is a little bit different. I don't have any success courses. I'm not trying to sell you LUTs, Lightroom presets, or anything typically you'd see photographers trying to sell you. You can watch 100 YouTube videos about the best camera for photography beginners and not once hear what I'm about to tell you, but I want you to stick with me if you're serious about succeeding. This most likely isn't going to be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear if you want to be successful in this business, and also it will save you money. There's a reality check needed. This business isn't just about picking up a camera and shooting. It's a journey of learning, of understanding the nuances of light, shadow, and emotion. And here's why many newcomers stumble. They invest heavily in high-end cameras believing that this is the key to instant success. But let's be clear, owning a pro camera doesn't mean you are a pro photographer any more than owning a grand piano means that you're a concert pianist. The true essence in photography lies in your vision, your dedication, and your willingness to grow beyond your gear. So let's talk about the camera. Yes, it's an essential tool, but it's not a be-all, end-all of photography. A fancy camera won't automatically grant you the skills needed to capture the essence of boudoir photography. You see, photography is an art form. It's about how you see the world and how you express your vision through a lens. And for that, you don't need the latest and greatest camera on the market. In fact, some of the most memorable photos taken in history were taken with cameras that, by today's standards, seem quite rudimentary. What made those photos great wasn't the camera, but the photographer's eye, their understanding of light, and their connection with the subject. So, the unglamorous true answer to the best camera question starts with the one that you have or what you can comfortably afford. The best camera to start with is the one you're going to use to learn and grow as a photographer. And I don't care about brands. Sony, Nikon, Canon, all make great cameras that can produce great photos. Don't fall into the trap of, if I only had that new Sony, then my business would be much more successful. It doesn't work that way, and I know you don't want to hear that. Let's delve deeper into what really matters in boudoir photography, the skills. It's not just about pressing a button, it's about creating an atmosphere, understanding the play of light on the human body, and capturing moments that speak volumes. It's about learning the technical aspects of photography, yes, but also about developing an eye for beauty and an intuition for capturing emotion and sensitivity to your subject's comfort and confidence. Let's roll back to the grand piano example. Let's say one day you wake up and decide you're going to be a professional concert pianist. You run down to the store, max out your credit cards, and buy a grand piano. Although I don't even know how you get that in a front door, but you come home and you start telling all your friends now you're a pro concert pianist. You put up a website, Nancy Jones Pro Pianist. Would you expect a lot of success? Would you expect Philharmonics and concert halls to be knocking on your door to book you? Of course not. Why? Because you know nothing about playing the piano, which seems to be pretty integral to becoming a professional piano player. Wouldn't you say? This business venture isn't likely to get off to a good start. This is where your journey begins, not with a fancy camera purchase, but with learning. Take courses, read books, watch tutorials, which are all over YouTube for free, and most importantly, practice. Yeah, imagine that. You'd have to invest time and energy and develop some skills. Every photo you take, every setup you experiment with, every interaction with a subject adds to your skill set. You're building a foundation, and on this foundation, your unique style and vision will emerge. Now, let's talk about the cornerstone of any art form, practice. In photography, every shot you take is a learning opportunity. Your first attempts may not be masterpieces, they won't be, and that's okay. Every frame you shoot teaches you something new about lighting, angles, composition, and how to interact with your subjects. The key is to keep shooting, keep experimenting, and keep learning from your experiences. How much practice do you think it would take to become a pro piano player? Maybe a day, maybe 2 days, more likely years. You'd have to practice daily over a long period before you reach any level of proficiency. And I'm not trying to be a downer, but for some reason when it comes to professional photography, people lack clarity and self-awareness about the entire learning aspect of photography. You probably understand you couldn't become a pro piano player like the first day you purchased a piano, but for some reason that same logic doesn't seem to apply when it comes to cameras and becoming a pro photographer. This is especially true in women's photography, where people with no experience wake up one day, decide they're going to change the world, buy really expensive photography equipment, and declare themselves a pro. Did I mention I was going to change the world? Yeah, I get it. And here's another bucket of cold water. Boudoir narratives aren't enough. They really aren't, and I'm sorry to be the first to tell you. These days, everyone is a photographer. Every person out there has a smartphone in their hand with a pretty good camera, so why would somebody pay you? Well, there's got to be a reason, and it's got to be a pretty good one. And if you know nothing about the technical aspects of photography, then most likely you are not the solution. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from their dreams. It's quite the opposite. I really want people to succeed, I do, but people go about the process of starting a photography business all wrong. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from their dreams, hardly, but you'd be surprised to hear from some of the people over the years that I've talked to on why they can't seem to grow their business. And when you look at the quality of work they are producing, it's not pro level. And I don't want to sound mean, but why would anybody pay for that? And they won't. And I don't think lying to somebody and saying like, wow, you're creating amazing work when they're not, is being genuinely helpful. And ultimately, you're trying to create a business, right? That's why you're creating a website and putting yourself out there. The photography business is already super difficult as it is, and not being an expert at what you're doing makes that task even more difficult or impossible. Yes, I know I'm mean and terrible for saying your best chance of success in this business is to practice and to learn how to do well first. So why don't you hear about this from all the photographers trying to sell you success courses? Why is this completely overlooked and not even mentioned at all by anybody? Well, talking about hard work and practice isn't very glamorous, is it? Someone telling you should start with a year or two of practice isn't exciting advice. It doesn't really fit well into the sell the dream and instant results marketing approach, and practice isn't exactly a quick path to success type system, is it? Budding photographers demand success now. I'm not doing any hard work. I'm not going to practice. So people are going to tell you what you want to hear to get your money. So what do? What camera should you use? You don't need the perfect gear to start. Use what you have. Whether it's a smartphone or basic DSLR, it doesn't really matter. And I'm pretty sure you can go on eBay and buy good used camera bodies and lenses for cheap, especially from all those people who took those instant success courses that didn't pan out and they gave up. A simple camera is all you need to get started and develop a passion for photographing women. And focusing on starting a business at the beginning isn't a great objective either. Don't think about a business, just enjoy and develop passion for what you're doing, and things will tend to unfold from there. And you know, in all the years I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever had a client come up to me and say, Mike, I hope you're using the newest Sony model. It doesn't matter. Clients don't know, they don't care. All they want to do is look good. Practice with friends or volunteer to shoot small family events. It doesn't matter. Just take photos. Build up your skills. Don't call yourself a pro. Don't worry about starting a business. Don't worry about money. Enjoy learning photography. Just focus your energy on becoming an expert photographer. Every challenge you face and overcome makes you better. Remember, the camera doesn't make the photographer. Dedication and practice does. How long will this take? I don't know. It all depends on somebody's time, dedication, and ability. What does it matter if you're having fun? As you grow in your photography journey, there will come a time when upgrading your camera does make sense. But this decision comes from a place of knowledge and experience, not just a desire for the latest gadgets. When you understand your camera's limitations and how they're holding you back, that's when an upgrade is justified. The right time to upgrade is when you've outgrown your current tool, not before. It's like a musician moving from a basic instrument to a professional one. It's the skill that prompts the need for a better equipment. An upgraded camera should complement your refined skills, not compensate for the lack of them. And if you don't know what you're doing, buying a fancy camera doesn't mean you're going to be creating better photos any more than buying a super expensive piano means that suddenly you're going to become an expert piano player. It just doesn't work that way. And the first step to success is having this level of self-awareness. But there's more to being a boudoir photographer than just taking beautiful photos. It's about the experience you create for your clients, the atmosphere of trust and respect, and understanding the business side of things. Your ability to manage client relationships, market your services, and being able to handle the administrative aspects are all critical to success. This part of the journey isn't always glamorous, but it's essential. Educate yourself on business practices, work on building a strong portfolio, and learn how to communicate effectively with clients. Remember, a successful photography business is a blend of artistic skill and savvy entrepreneurship. So, to all the aspiring boudoir photographers or any photographers out there, remember, the journey is long, but it's rewarding. It's not the camera that creates the magic, it's you, your eye, your passion, your commitment to learning and growing. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. The path to becoming a great photographer is built on perseverance and continuous improvement. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it inspires you to focus on what truly matters as you embark on your photography journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the world of photography. Until next time, keep capturing beauty one photo at a time. And if you're watching this is from like 2007, 2008 or so. It's a Nikon D300 that I used like a bazillion years ago. And this camera took this photo. It took this photo. It took this photo. And this camera is what? Approaching almost 18, 17 years old now? So keep on going. Camera doesn't matter.